So 2 weeks ago, I made the decision to start publishing on Substack. And since then, I have already generated 97 new email subscribers and 233 new followers on my profile. So I've told all of my creator friends about how Substack was such a good opportunity at the moment, but they all asked me the same question. How did you actually set this up? All the settings and options are confusing the hell out of me. So today I'm going to walk you through my complete strategic Substack setup, and not just the technical steps, but the business thinking behind every single decision I made. But first, what exactly makes Substack different from every other platform? Because most creators think of Substack as another newsletter tool, but that completely misses the point. Because Substack operates as 3 platforms in one. First, a social media platform with an algorithm that helps you get discovered. Secondly, an email provider that collects subscriber addresses. And third, a blog hosting platform for your long-form content. And here's why this matters for your creator business. On Twitter or Instagram, you build followers, but you don't own the relationship. The platform controls who sees your content. One algorithm update and years of audience building becomes worthless. But Substack gives you something different. When someone subscribes to your publication, you get their actual email address. You can export that list and you own the relationship. Also, the conversion funnel is seamless. People discover you through your notes on the platform, then they follow your personal profile, and then they see your longer form publication and can subscribe with their email directly inside the app. Everything happens in the same ecosystem, which means higher conversion rates and better user experience. And right now, we're in what I call the early majority phase. The platform has massive reach for 50 million unique monthly visitors, but it's not oversaturated with creators yet. And with Danko and Justin Welch migrating their entire audiences to Substack, that's a signal that there is an opportunity window that smart creators can leverage. But understanding the platform is just the first step. The real game is how you strategically position yourself within it. So, how do you create a profile that immediately communicates authority without looking like every other creator? So your Substack profile has 2 main components. First, your personal profile, which acts like a social media profile similar to Twitter. And secondly, your publication website, which hosts all of your newsletter. These are separate entities, but they work together strategically. So let's start with your personal profile setup. For your profile picture, I recommend showing your face if you want to create personal connection and relatability with your audience. You can go the faceless route if you want. There is plenty of successful Substack newsletters that are faceless, but keep in mind that it makes it harder to connect with people. As I just said, it's possible to succeed as a faceless brand, but you're choosing a more difficult path. Then you can set your name and handle, straightforward enough. But here's where most creators make their first mistakes, the bio. So let me show you mine. Mine is 200k made online, 500k for my clients, writing about second brain systems with Kortex, blending human and AI creativity, and achieving purpose and profit. So why did I structure it this way? There is 3 strategic decisions. First, I lead with concrete results to establish authority and credibility. Numbers cut through the nose faster than any explanation. Second, I position my expertise across multiple areas while staying specific enough to be unique. You won't find someone else writing about this exact combination of topics. And third, I avoid the trap that most beginners fall into: vague, abstract, or philosophical bios. Someone like Danko can afford to name his newsletter Future Proof and use Stay Relevant as his bio because he's Danko. Everyone knows who he is. But when you're building from zero, you need to make people understand why they should read you in the first place and how you're different from the 10,000 other creators starting out. And when you're a polymath with a multidisciplinary approach like I am, the classic I help X do Y with Z formula feels limiting. So instead, I like to use the I write about formula followed by 3 broad but specific topics that describe my core value areas. For me, it's the second brain methodology, the AI integration philosophy, and the concept of achieving purpose and profit together. This approach explains what you do without boxing yourself in, while still making your reader understand what's in it for them and how you're different. Finally, you can add your social links and you're done with the basic profile. But your profile is just the front door. The real business happens in your publication setup. So, how do you set up your publication? Not just as a newsletter, but as a complete business system. This is where most creators either get overwhelmed by the options or make decisions without strategic thinking. So let me walk you through each critical decision and why I made these choices. I won't describe each section, but I will go through the most important ones to update so your publication is ready to welcome readers. And by the way, you can access the settings of your publication by clicking to the dashboard, then the settings section after creating it. So first, the basics section. You will select your language and choose your publication's primary and secondary categories. These categories are more important than most people realize because they determine where you appear in Substack's interface and who your competitors are. When you see someone's getting a notification like 87 rising in philosophy, that means that the 87th fastest growing newsletter in the philosophy category. So choose carefully because this affects who Substack recommends your publication to. I selected business as my main category and philosophy as my second because that felt most aligned with my brand and audience. Second, we have the payment section. Here you can set up everything related to monetizing with paid posts. And I won't go deep into this because I monetize my brand through my own digital products instead of a paid newsletter. I think paid newsletters work great for people with large followings, but as a creator building a purposeful business with an audience of 1,000 true fans, paid newsletters aren't the optimal monetization strategy in my opinion. If how I monetize my brand with less than 1,000 true fans interests you, you can always leave a comment below and I will create a video on my business model in the future. The website section lets you customize your publication's appearance, theme, layout, and fonts. Make sure you have a clear call to action to subscribe somewhere visible. And personal preference matters here, but user experience should be your priority. Now, for the critical decisions, your publication name. I personally choose Noah's Ark because I built all of my branding around this biblical mythology. The Ark relates directly to my mission of helping creators build their own digital ark to survive the AI flood. And plus, my name is Noah, so it creates personal connection while reinforcing my brand narrative. Then we have the publication description. It is the most critical element of your entire setup because that's what people will read when they will try to subscribe to your newsletter. So mine reads weekly essays on building an AI second brain with Kortex, blending human and AI creativity, and achieving purpose and profit with your creator business. So you can notice how this is similar to my bio, and that's intentional. This description accomplishes several goals simultaneously. It explains my different topics while being specific and unique enough to differentiate me. Each element represents a core value of my brand. The second brain philosophy, the AI integration approach, and the purpose profit alignment concept. Then we have the pages and navigation section, and it determines which tabs people see at the top of your publication. So here I kept the default options, the home, notes, archive, and about section. And I also added one strategic page, a direct link to my free lead magnet that includes my entire AI second brain setup. So here, as you can see, you can click here to add different navigation links. I also updated the about section, which I highly recommend you to do. And I structured mine in two parts. First, my mission and value proposition, as you can see here. And secondly, my personal story and journey, as you can see here. Always end with a call to action to subscribe. Then we have the growth features. They let you set up rewards for subscribers who share your Substack. I haven't implemented this yet, but it can boost growth through word-of-mouth incentives. Then we have emails. The email section is the second most important area after your description. Here you will define your sender name, email header and footer, opt-out page, and whether people need email confirmation before subscribing. I personally just added a call to action to my lead magnet in the email footer. And I haven't customized the opt-out page yet, but you could include a short survey to understand why people unsubscribe or try to keep them in your ecosystem by offering alternative engagement options. The welcome email for free subscribers goes to everyone joining your Substack. In mine, I restate my mission, explain the type of content they can expect each week, and include a transparency section about product launches and promotions so they know they might receive emails outside of Substack. I always end with a call to action to my lead magnet because that's my number one priority for moving people through my funnel. And then we have the imported subscriber email. That's critical if you already have an existing email list and you import it to Substack. Because transparency Transparency and authenticity are key for keeping your email list fresh and engaged while building trust with your audience. So I tell them they've been added because they joined one of my free or paid products before. I explain what they can expect from the Substack and clearly explain how they can opt out if needed. Then we have the privacy section. So under this section, I created custom terms of service and the privacy policy. This is particularly important if you have an existing business and imported your list to Substack. The goal is compliance with GDPR and can spam rules. I use ChatGPT to help me write this, and you can ask it to ask you questions so you don't miss anything. As a small creator, you don't risk much if you aren't 100% compliant, but it shows professionalism and protects your audience. Then we have the details sections. Here it will require your copyright information, mailing address for legal compliance, email address for RSS feeds, and the publication introduction. I actually updated everything, and even though I'm not sure where the publication introduction appears on the platform, I think it's better complete than empty. And finally, you have the import and export section that lets you import existing leads and export your data from Substack. This is a powerful feature for creator sovereignty. You can always take your audience with you. But here's what most creators miss. Your Substack is only as strong as the thinking system behind it. So, how do you create content that stands out in an AI-flooded world? Because everything I've shown you about setting up Substack strategically is valuable, but it's not enough. To differentiate yourself from the mass of other creators standing out and rise above the AI flood, your only mode is building your own second brain. And a second brain is where you gather all your notes, ideas, and writing in the same place. But more than organization, it's where you will cultivate your unique perspective, develop your philosophy, and create the thinking frameworks that allow you to stand out, establish unique positioning, and grow an audience of fans who want to buy your products. And without this foundation, you're just another creator publishing content that sounds like everything else. But with this, you become someone who consistently generates insights that people can't get anywhere else. And most creators struggle because they don't know what to write about. And when they do write, it sounds generic because they're not building on a foundation of unique thinking. They're consuming information and regurgitating it instead of developing their own perspective through systematic thinking. That's why your second brain becomes your competitive advantage. Every piece of content you create builds on your accumulated insights. Every newsletter draws from your personal knowledge foundation, and every note you publish represents genuine thinking rather than surface-level observations. And Kortex makes this possible by combining note-taking, knowledge management, and AI integration in one system designed specifically for creators. You can capture insights, connect ideas across different domains, and use AI to help develop your thinking without losing your authentic voice. And when AI-generated content flows every platform, authentic perspective becomes incredibly valuable. The creators who succeed aren't the ones who can prompt AI the best. They're the ones who can think clearly, connect ideas uniquely, and communicate insights that only they could have developed. So if you want to start building your own second brain system, I've created Noah's Ark Bank. It's my free collection of 20 plus templates, SOPs, and AI prompts to build your AI second brain right now. So if you want to start building your own second brain system and develop the unique perspective that will make everything else work, you can download Noah's Ark Bank. It's completely free and it includes everything as I just said. The link is in the description and pinned comment. So, most creators think platform success is about mastering the platform. But here's what starting on Substack reminded me about building a sustainable creator business. Success operates on 3 distinct layers, and most training only covers the first one. The layer 1 is the technical setup. It's the basic profile completion and feature activation that gets you in the game. The layer 2 is strategic positioning, the audience-focused decisions and business-aligned choices that gets you noticed. And layer 3 is unique perspective development, the authentic voice cultivation and systematic thinking that gets you remembered and followed. So this video covers layer 1 and 2 thoroughly, but layer 3 is what creates lasting success. And whether it's Substack today or whatever platform emerges next, the creators who build sustainable businesses aren't the ones chasing every new feature. They're the ones who use platforms strategically to amplify perspectives that only they can provide. So remember, your Substack setup matters, but your thinking system matters more. Platform independence comes from building on your unique perspective, not platform features. When you develop your ideas systematically, you create content that works across any platform because it's rooted in authentic insights rather than trending topics. You're not just building on Substack, you're building a creator business that can survive any algorithmic change or platform shift. So if you found this video valuable, don't forget to drop a like. It helped me a lot to get discovered by new people, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions about your Substack setup. I would be happy to help. You can subscribe for weekly breakdowns on building an AI-powered creator business that align purpose with profit. And if you want to understand why Substack is such a powerful opportunity right now, you can watch my previous videos on why smart creators are ditching social media for Substack. So thanks for watching and welcome back to Noah's Ark. Bye.